Right now, as you read these words, something extraordinary is happening inside your brain. Over 86 billion neurons are firing in perfect synchronization, creating waves of electrical activity that ripple across your consciousness like invisible music. But here's what scientists have just discovered. When master musicians play ancient Indian ragas, something impossible occurs. Your brain waves begin matching frequencies that shouldn't exist in nature. Frequencies that match the quantum vibrations of particles separated by vast distances across the universe. Think about that for a moment. When Einstein called quantum entanglement spooky action at a distance, he was describing how particles can instantly influence each other, regardless of the space between them. In 2024, CERN scientists confirmed this mysterious connection between the heaviest known particles, observing entanglement, even when particles were moving so fast they had only a 10% chance to communicate. But what if this isn't limited to the subatomic world? What if your consciousness operates through the same quantum principles that ancient Indian musicians somehow discovered 3,000 years ago? Let me share something that will change how you see reality forever. Researchers at Buddhist monasteries found that experienced meditators can self-induce gamma brainwaves at 40 Hz, with amplitudes 30 times higher than normal humans. These are the highest recorded non-pathological brain frequencies ever measured. When monks enter deep meditative states while listening to specific ragas, their neural networks synchronize across vast regions of the brain, creating what scientists call global workspace integration. But that's just the beginning of this quantum rabbit hole. The frequency 40 Hz isn't random. Multiple studies show that when your brain oscillates at exactly 40 Hz, something remarkable happens. Disparate neural networks across different regions suddenly bind together into unified conscious experience. This is called the binding problem in neuroscience, how your brain integrates sight, sound, touch, memory, and emotion into single moments of awareness. Scientists discovered that 40 Hz gamma waves literally solve this mystery by creating quantum-like correlations between distant neurons. Okay, so here's where your world gets turned upside down. Ancient Indian musicians actually built their entire system around frequencies that create these exact neural correlations. The 22 Shruti system divides each octave into 22 precisely calculated microtones, each separated by exactly the frequency difference needed to trigger distinct conscious states. And get this, research from 2025 shows this system achieves 91.3% accuracy in predicting emotional responses. But honestly, the real revelation comes from what happens in your cells when you listen to these frequencies. When participants listened to Raga Malkons for just 22 minutes, their theta brainwaves increased by 15%, while their stress hormones dropped by an average of 12%. Raga Ahir Bhairav reduced blood pressure in 85% of hypertensive patients, with systolic pressure dropping by an average of 6.1 points and diastolic by 5.7 points in just 7 days. These aren't placebo effects. They're measurable changes in brain chemistry, and they actually occur faster than most pharmaceutical interventions. But wait, something even stranger happens at the cellular level. The frequency 528 Hz, which is embedded within specific ragas, reduces cellular death by 20% and completely eliminates reactive oxygen species, those molecules that cause DNA damage and aging. Laboratory studies show this frequency repairs DNA by organizing water molecules around the double helix into perfect hexagonal structures. Your cells are literally being healed by sound waves that match cosmic frequencies discovered by ancient masters. If you've ever felt that profound peace during meditation or experienced chills while listening to classical Indian music, hit that like button now, because you've actually felt your consciousness synchronizing with quantum fields that connect you to the entire universe. The mathematics behind this connection will absolutely blow your mind. Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff's quantum consciousness theory proposes that awareness emerges from quantum processes in brain microtubules, cylindrical protein structures that form crystal-like networks inside neurons. These microtubules maintain quantum coherence for up to 500 milliseconds, creating biological quantum computers inside your skull. When stimulated by specific frequencies, they enable consciousness to access non-local information fields through quantum entanglement. Recent experiments have detected conscious moments occurring at frequencies between 24 and 90 Hz, with 40 Hz being the optimal range for awareness integration. Ancient Indian texts describe this same phenomenon in the concept of conscious moments during deep sound meditation. The Mandukya Upanishad identifies 4 states of consciousness corresponding to specific brainwave frequencies: beta waves for normal awareness, alpha waves for relaxed attention, theta waves for deep meditation, and delta waves for transcendent spiritual states. But here's the revelation that changes everything. When groups of people listen to the same raga simultaneously, their brainwaves synchronize not just individually, but collectively. Neuroscience research shows that during group raga meditation, participants' neural networks begin firing in perfect unison across multiple brains, creating what researchers call collective consciousness states. This biological version of quantum entanglement suggests that music creates non-local correlations between human minds separated by physical space. The therapeutic implications are staggering. Clinical trials prove that specific ragas replace pharmaceutical interventions for numerous conditions. Raga Darbari Canada eliminates chronic insomnia more effectively than sleeping pills, with 78% of participants reporting improved sleep quality after just 2 weeks. Raga bimpalas decreased blood pressure by 12 points systolic and 8 points diastolic in 3-month studies. Raga bilahari reduced anxiety, sleep disturbances, and somatic symptoms by significant margins in caregivers of cancer patients, with p-values less than 0.001, meaning these results are statistically virtually certain. The frequency measurements reveal the precision behind these effects. The Om mantra vibrates at exactly 432 Hz, which aligns with the Schumann resonance, Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat at 7.83 Hz. When multiplied through octaves, this creates a harmonic series that resonates with natural planetary frequencies. Studies show that music tuned to 432 Hz reduces anxiety by 12% and decreases cortisol levels more effectively than standard tuning. Your ancestors weren't just creating beautiful music, they were developing precise quantum technologies for consciousness exploration. Consider this extraordinary finding. The 111 Hz frequency found in temple chants increases oxytocin levels by 10% while simultaneously activating glands that release natural pain-relieving compounds. The gamma frequency at exactly 40 Hz improves memory scores by 15% and increases cognitive performance by 10% in clinical trials. These aren't arbitrary healing claims. They're measurable biological responses to specific quantum frequencies embedded in sacred sound structures. The ancient Samaveda describes creation emerging from cosmic sound vibrations over 3,000 years before modern physics discovered that the universe consists of vibrating quantum fields. String theory now proposes that every particle is essentially a vibrating string, with different vibration patterns creating different forms of matter and energy. The fundamental frequencies of these cosmic strings operate at the Planck scale, where space and time themselves become quantized into discrete units, exactly paralleling the 22 Shruti system's division of sound into precise frequency quanta. Cymatics research proves that sound frequencies create visible geometric patterns in matter, and these patterns mirror the sacred geometries found in ancient Indian temples and art. When 528 Hz is played through water, it forms perfect six-pointed hexagonal structures, the same shapes that optimize DNA repair and cellular regeneration. Ancient practitioners weren't working with abstract concepts. They had discovered the vibrational blueprints that organize matter at the quantum level. The neuroscience of raga listening reveals how quantum consciousness actually functions in your brain. When you hear specific melodic patterns, neurons in distant brain regions begin firing in synchrony, creating what researchers call coupled oscillator networks. Mathematical modeling shows that ragas operate through quantum-like coupling matrices, where each note influences others through non-local correlations that transcend classical neural connectivity. Your brain becomes a biological quantum computer, processing musical information through mechanisms that mirror particle entanglement. Recent research on the Penrose-Hameroff OR theory suggests that consciousness occurs through discrete quantum events in microtubules, creating moments of awareness at frequencies matching gamma brainwave ranges. When you listen to ragas designed to stimulate these exact frequencies, you're literally tuning your consciousness to access quantum information fields that exist beyond ordinary space-time limitations. The therapeutic frequency of 528 Hz demonstrates this quantum healing principle perfectly. Laboratory studies show this frequency increases cellular ATP production by 20%, promotes DNA repair, and creates cymatic patterns that match healthy cellular membranes. When diseased tissue is exposed to 528 Hz, disorderly molecular patterns reorganize into coherent, symmetric forms, essentially using sound to restore quantum coherence at the biological level. But here's what makes this even more extraordinary. Consciousness itself might operate through quantum measurement. The observer effect in quantum mechanics, where the act of measurement changes reality, parallels ancient Vedantic teachings that consciousness shapes the world we perceive. When you become deeply absorbed in raga listening, your awareness enters quantum superposition states, where multiple possibilities exist simultaneously until collapsed into specific experiences through conscious attention. Brain imaging during musical meditation shows activation patterns that mirror quantum superposition. Different melodic possibilities exist simultaneously in neural networks until musicians collapse them into specific notes, precisely paralleling how quantum particles exist in multiple states until measured. This suggests that musical creativity operates through quantum consciousness mechanisms, accessing probability fields of infinite melodic potential. The 432 Hz frequency offers a perfect example of cosmic resonance. This natural frequency aligns with Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat and creates harmonic ratios that resonate with planetary cycles and biological rhythms. Ancient instruments were naturally tuned to these Earth-resonant frequencies, suggesting our ancestors understood something profound about the vibrational basis of healing that we're only now rediscovering through quantum physics. The mathematics become even more astounding when you examine microtonal precision. Bharata Muni's 22 Shruti system, established over 2,000 years ago, divides each octave into 22-cent intervals, precisely the smallest audible difference the human ear can distinguish. This actually mirrors quantum mechanics' discovery that energy comes in discrete packets, separated by Planck's constant. Both systems reveal reality as fundamentally quantized rather than continuous, suggesting ancient musicians had Well, an intuitive access to quantum principles. Group meditation studies reveal the most profound implications. When multiple people listen to the same raga simultaneously, their brainwaves synchronize not just with the music, but with each other, creating collective neural coherence across separate minds. EEG measurements show participants' alpha and theta waves beginning to oscillate in perfect phase synchronization, suggesting that musical harmony induces biological quantum entanglement between human consciousness. The therapeutic revolution has already begun in medical institutions worldwide. Sound therapy protocols, based on these ancient frequency principles, now show success rates comparable to pharmaceutical interventions for depression, anxiety, and chronic pain, but without side effects. Hospitals report that patients listening to specific ragas require 25% fewer pain medications and show 30% faster recovery rates from surgery. So, recent quantum biology research reveals that photosynthesis, bird navigation, and even human consciousness all actually rely on quantum effects operating in these warm, wet biological environments. This, in a way, validates the ancient Ayurvedic principle that ragas work by restoring quantum harmony in living systems. Each raga, creates specific vibrational templates that guide cellular processes back toward optimal functioning through quantum coherence mechanisms. The ultimate revelation, really, emerges when you realize that consciousness and cosmos share the same fundamental structure. Quantum entanglement operates through mathematical relationships that, transcend space and time. Ancient ragas achieve their effects through mathematical relationships between frequencies that create emotional resonance across neural networks. Both systems suggest that reality's deepest level consists not of matter or energy, but of pure relational information, what physicists call the it from bit hypothesis. This understanding honestly transforms how you perceive both music and reality. When you experience the profound peace of a perfectly performed raga, you're not just hearing pleasant sounds. You're accessing the same non-local information fields that connect entangled particles across the universe. Your consciousness is literally resonating with cosmic harmonics that have existed since the Big Bang created the very first quantum vibrations. The implications for human potential are honestly staggering. If consciousness operates through quantum mechanisms, and if ragas can tune these quantum processes, then ancient Indian music actually represents humanity's first technology for directly accessing cosmic consciousness. The traditional claim that enlightened masters could perceive universal truths through musical meditation suddenly appears not as mysticism, but as practical quantum biology. Every time you listen to a raga with genuine attention, you participate in an experiment spanning from quantum mechanics to cosmic consciousness. You experience firsthand how ancient harmonies access the deepest connections between mind, music, and the quantum universe. The vibration you feel when a perfectly tuned sitar string resonates in your chest isn't just sound. It's the same fundamental force that keeps entangled particles connected across infinite space. The evidence reveals we're witnessing the convergence of humanity's oldest spiritual science with our newest physical discoveries. Ancient Indian masters didn't just create beautiful music, they developed precise technologies for quantum consciousness exploration. Every raga represents a carefully calibrated frequency pattern, designed to induce specific quantum coherence states in neural microtubules, enabling direct access to non-local information fields that connect all consciousness throughout the universe. As you sit here absorbing this revelation, remember that the universe isn't just mathematical, it's musical. The ancient masters of India somehow discovered this cosmic symphony thousands of years before we had the science to understand why it works. In recognizing this truth, you don't just understand quantum mechanics differently, you understand your place in the cosmic dance of existence itself. The quantum field that connects every particle in the universe is the same field that resonates when you chant Om or lose yourself in the haunting beauty of Raga Yaman at twilight. Your consciousness is both the observer and the observed, the musician and the music, the quantum measurement device that collapses infinite possibility into the singular beauty of this present moment. Share this revelation with fellow seekers who need to know that ancient wisdom and quantum science are revealing the same ultimate truth about reality's musical nature. Subscribe to Universal Insights to explore more mysteries where consciousness meets cosmos, and comment below with your own experiences. Have ragas opened doorways to expanded awareness in your life? What quantum synchronicities have you discovered when music dissolves the boundaries between self and universe? Your insights might hold keys to understanding how consciousness and cosmos dance together in the eternal symphony of existence.